from the part of the DBM, there is no constraint for them to like totally pull out the totality of the 4 billion and funnel it towards other priority programs of the DFA. As per the current market
For
structure.
2026 po, Madam
Yes.
Chair, yes po.
Okay. Sige po. So, siguro yun lang po kasi I was scrutinizing the financial documents of the DFA, and it's a glaring amount lang po kasi that we can utilize for other purposes. And I know the DFA also has other priority programs under the Tier 2 section of the budget na hindi napondohan under the NEP. So
Yes.
if I guess I'll leave it po Sec Lazaro to the wisdom of the DFA, but it's just an amount that I feel can be better utilized on the part of the DFA.
Thank you very much, Your Honor, for bringing this up. I think the most prudent position here for us is to reevaluate, as also mentioned by the DBM person, and just give us a little bit more time, just in time for the plenary for our budget sponsor, so that it would be clear for us. Just a little bit more time to
Yes.
look at the
Of course
reevaluation.
po. Apa. I'm just here lang po to guide, but ultimately, diba, it's on the part of the DFA. Kasi ang nakikita ko lang po dyan, again, I'm actually worried about the 8.3 billion that's already lodged in the DFA, whether it will be utilized even until the end of next year. And if ASEC or Assistant Director, if you may enlighten me lang, if in case, ano yung lifespan nitong 8.3 billion na to? Until when does the DFA have the leeway to utilize this 8.3 billion? Kasi I'm thinking it won't be fully utilized by next year given the demand, just from the demand projection standpoint. So may I know po until when the DFA has to utilize this 8.3 billion pesos for the e-passport booklet?
Out of dun po sa Madam Chair, sa 8 billion po, 4 billion po will end po, ang validity po niya is until December 2025, and for the remaining balance po na 2025, ang validity po niya is until 2026 po.
Okay. So you have half a year to spend 4 billion for the e-passport booklet, otherwise it gets reverted back to the Treasury, and the other 4.3 billion. So I think po, given that, it might be best to not add pressure by adding even more to the bucket for the e-passport booklet program po, Sec. Thank you very much po. Another question, 2024, apart from the 5.7 billion in unreleased appropriations for the e-passport booklet, I'm also seeing here that there is additionally an obligated amount of 4.2 billion pesos. May I know po why that remained unobligated? Unobligated. 2024 po, 2024. Kasi po, out of the unused appropriations of 9.9 billion, 5.7 of that is unreleased and 4.2 is unobligated.
Okay. Hindi ho ito yung sa e-passport na.
I don't know po. Which of these is the e-passport po?
Yes.
Kasi po magkaiba po, di ba?
Correct.
Not the whole 9 billion.
Yes.
Of the unused appropriations po,
Yes.
the 9.9 billion would not be solely attributed to the e-passports,
Yes,
right?
much of the, Your Honor, much of the unutilized funds in 2024 also pertains to yung aming retrofitting project.
Yeah.
Because we were supposed to have moved to our temporary headquarters that year, but because of failed bidding, which was beyond our control, it took place already in 2025. So, marami hong hindi nagamit na pondo because of this delayed retrofitting
So
project.
if, has it been successfully bidded in 2025?
Yes, it has, this
Okay.
year.
So how much of this, the unused appropriations, do we anticipate will be utilized in 2025?
In 2025, last year, it was in the amount of about 400 million last year, and Your Honor, yes, it was 400 million last year and 500 million this year. So magagamit na ho yan hopefully this year.
Opo,
Dahil
it-
nabid na ho successfully.
Medyo malaki pa rin asset kasi we have
Yes.
4.2 billion, right, in unobligated
That's correct.
funds. Sorry pa, I just need to understand kasi medyo glaring yung 17%, roughly 17% shortfall in utilization for 2024.
Yes.
So I just need to understand where the shortfall is coming from. So there's the e-booklet, e-passport booklet. There's the failure of bidding, which
Yes,
we're,
for the
we're
retrofitting
anticipating will
project.
be utilized in 2025. So
That's
that's
correct.
okay.
Yes.
The rest po, where the
Yes, and another factor cited by DBM in its agency performance review was the low utilization of the ATN funds. There was less demand for ATN services by our Filipinos abroad.
may you let us know ATN means?
Yes, assistance to nationals.
Oh, okay.
Yes, and
Yes, I
among
saw
other
that.
things, it's because of the creation of itong Department of Migrant Workers, where they also have their action fund to assist overseas Filipino
Yes,
workers.
I am seeing here that there's a shortfall of about 600 million for the ito po ba yung protection of the rights and promotion of welfare of overseas
Yes, that's
Filipinos?
correct.
That's the one. At 58% utilization.
Yes.
Opo. Tapos yung GAS, actually, 63% yung
Yes,
utilization.
itong General Administration and Support
Yeah.
Programs.
Siguro po, I just need to understand siguro the breakdown of, would you be able to present to the committee a breakdown of the 9.98 billion in unused appropriations
Sure.
for 2024?
Yes, we can certainly
Yeah.
do that.
Yeah. Apa, tinitignan lang po. Medyo malaki po kasi talaga siya.
Yes.
Let's see.
Yes.
So, is that something that you can provide now?
Oh, no. Yes, we could certainly.
Apa,
For the 2024 breakdown?
for the 2024?
The breakdown of your
Yung
2024 usage?
9.9 billion in unutilized appropriations po. Okay. Para lang po makita ko. Opo. Kaya ba? Kaya ba? Sige. Okay po, sige po. Kino-compare ko lang po kasi yung year-on-year levels, 2024, 2025, and 2026.
I should just add, Your Honor, there are certain projects that are charged to the building fund na hindi ho natuloy. So we'll also include that in our tabulation.
So a lot of it hindi na start at all yung project.
Yes, allotted for repair, acquisition, construction, certain chanceries, residences abroad, pero somehow hindi ho natuloy.
Yeah, because I'm seeing here just comparing just the time series, right, across the 3 years. If you would see, hindi naman ganon sobrang lumaki yung MOOE. Actually, your MOOE is lower in the NEP than it was in the GAA for 2025. The changes really are in the PS, which increased by about 1.8 billion,
Yes.
and the capital outlay, which increased by about 800 million.
Yes.
So, yun lang. Gusto ko lang po makita yung utilization actually for us to be able to see how much. Kasi again, medyo flag siya for the committee if there's like a huge chunk of unutilized appropriation. So,
Yes.
again, we want to make sure that the funds we place are utilized po.
Correct.
So,
And Your Honor, yung decrease sa MOE from the 2026 NEP compared to the 2025 JA is because of yung paglipat ng 2 billion that came from the e-passport project to be used in other priority items.
it went towards capital outlay or PS?
Wala hong PS, mostly MOE and capital outlay.
Okay.
Yes.
Sige. Yun yung 800 million increase in capital outlay.
Yes.
Okay. Outlays. Plural pala yun. Capital outlay, isa lang. Capital outlays. Foreign. Yung foreign service posts po, there's an increase of 2 billion for foreign service posts for between FY 2025 and FY 2026 po.
Madam Chair, may we excuse also the staff from the DBM? If you don't have any more questions you would like to ask of her, may we allow that she be excused?
Actually, sorry Vice Chair, nandiyan lang naman si Assistant Director sa likod.
So no
eh.
problem with you if you stay?
Yeah.
Kasi iba yung tingin mo sa akin eh. Gusto mo na umuwi eh.
Actually, hindi, nagsistay naman po yung partners natin in the DBM precisely for that reason, to check lang. I think provision of foreign service, sige. Yun lang po siguro talaga, it's the unutilized funds po. Kasi ano po, I just wanted to flag that perhaps those are programs that are not as in demand or not as utilized as other programs that perhaps the DFA may need to fund. Medyo malaki kasi po talaga siya.
Your Honor.
Yes, po, Secretary.
Can we request, I think it might be a hurried computation. Can you just give us until tomorrow?
Okay.
To give you a more succinct and the computation is in a good one.
Of course po, Sectas.
Thank
No
you.
worries at all. Yun lang, I went through the files kasi and siguro yun yung pinaka-glaring sa akin. I also want to, I guess, guide the DFA towards funneling the budget for 2026 towards programs that are most needed by the department. So, siguro po, while the DFA team is putting that together, now that we've seen that there may be certain programs that do not need that big of an allocation, siguro po, Sectas, we'll leave it to the DFA to discuss amongst yourselves po. Are there specific programs po that are priorities of the DFA that were not funded in the NEP that's super needed by the DFA?
Actually, Your Honor, that was the initial discussions, and one of them that we think is really very important is our cybersecurity. In fact, we had our people.
I
here
agree also, very much so, yes.
We had people here that even went to Estonia because they're looking at probably the best cybersecurity experts and company that we want to, and that is something really that it's very much needed and is not funded actually.
I agree po. So, Sec, would you have an estimate as to how much that program will cost?
I again give the floor to our asset management.
Yes, my apologies po. May you please identify yourself, sir?
Assistant Secretary Patrick Hilado for Asset Management.
Yes, for ASEC.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Thank you, Madam Chair. I think part of our ISSP, our cybersecurity program, was funded by the NEP, but there's a certain part that was not given. This was based on our submission for the ISSP. So I think we can work with the OFMS to get so that we can be fully funded, Madam Chair.
How much is the deficit po?
I think the deficit is around under 1 billion pesos po ang deficit. So we can crunch the numbers and we can submit it to fiscal management so we can look
We
for-
found around 2 billion that we can funnel towards other programs, so that can be the source po. Yeah.
Thank you,
So
Madam Chair.
for that, yes. If that's the most critical for the DFA. Yeah, but again, we'll have to check in po if that's something that the department would agree on. Opo. Sir, yun po yung pinaka-critical po, Sec, no? It is sizable. It is a very sizable amount at roughly 1 billion. But then again, if we're gonna reallocate the amount from the e-passport booklet towards the cybersecurity, you still have roughly 1 billion left after that. Opo.
Your Honor, we're very appreciative of the way you conducted it, because now we realize that there's something there, and yet we need something that is not funded. Thank you very much.
Yes po, that's what I'm here for po. It's really to scrutinize the numbers and make sure we're able to allocate where it's most needed. So yun po siguro. Usually that's a question that I pose to the agencies before the end of every hearing. What are other priority programs that were proposed by the agency to the DBM that ultimately were not funded in the NEP, but we have a very good situation here wherein there's actually a source within the DFA where we can pull it from. So siguro po, Sectas, I leave it po to your wisdom and to the wisdom of the agency to figure out what we would like to do with this funding. My request lang po, Sec, given that we have to submit all proposed amendments to the GAB and the NEP through the Budget Amendments Review Subcommittee within the Committee on Appropriations. We'll need some time po to be able to send that in for deliberation of the BARC. So if, may I ask po by when you will be able to submit the proposed amendments?
Your Honor, by tomorrow.
Oh, perfect. Yes. I was going to say 48 hours, but okay. 24 hours is even better po. Sige. And then, just one final call, ComSec, because we're doing a new initiative on the part of the Committee on Appropriations wherein we give the space for our civil society partners to ask questions to the agencies through either the vice chairpersons or the chairperson of the Committee on Appropriations. So I've checked in po before I started my interpellation. Wala pa po. So siguro before we end lang po our hearing and interpellation for today, ComSec, just wanted to confirm, are there any questions coming from our civil society partners to be fielded to our DFA family?
Good afternoon, ma'am. So far, we have not received any questions from the CSO that we have invited
Sige po.
the
So,
DFA hearing.
So again, we invite our civil society organization partners to please submit any questions that you would like us to field to our agency partners, and we'll be very happy to make that part of the deliberations of the Committee on Appropriations, because for sure that will enrich the discussion. So sana po in the coming days, more and more of our civil society partners will field questions. So any more? Yeah. Yeah, I think there are no more questions po from our side. I guess before we end today's hearing po, any other thoughts po or comments from your side po, Sec?
Actually, Madam Chair, I can only say on behalf of the DFA family, thank you very much to you, of course, to our budget sponsor, and the other honorable congressmen here. Thank you very much for the questions that were very important, and hopefully we were able to respond. But this is more important on the budget, that there is some kind of movement or leeway that we can work on. Thank you very much, Your Honors.
Thank you very much, Paul, Sec, Tess, Lazaro, and to the whole DFA family. Again, I'd like to say thank you. Thank you for being so flexible. We moved up your budget hearing by 3 days po, no? 3 full days, 2 full days. So I know po that the internal deadline for the submissions was today, and you had to move it up to make it to today's hearing. So thank you so much po for accommodating the request of the committee. And with that, now that there are no other member who wishes to interpolate our partners in the DFA, do I hear a motion?
Madam Chair, just as last note, no, I'd like to put on record that it's as a sponsor of this budget, I'm very, I thank the chairperson for pointing that out. I mean, it would make the job of the sponsor a lot easier in the plenary, and it would also at least help the DFA to rationalize their budgets insofar as the utilization of their funds, especially those unreleased in obligated yet obligated fundings, because that would anyway affect the overall performance and accomplishment of your department, which by the way also affects the the amount that the DBM will be granting to you based on the request that you forward or you extend to DBM. So again, I guess, Madam Chair, on the issue of the MICA, this is just my advice to the DFA. Once you restructure or you review again the, I guess, 8 billion pesos, in order for you to utilize that and fund other services that might be needed for your services to more responsive to the needs of our kababayans abroad, I would also suggest that you also consult your legal technical staff, so that we may not be able to at least maybe perhaps overlook some things that may be needed, may need to be considered. We are talking about funds here, so we don't want to overstep our boundaries. If there are guidelines on how to utilize this, I think it's also best for the interest of the department to review this properly, thoroughly, so that there won't be any problem that may arise in the future that we do not want to happen. So, having said that, I again turn over to the chairperson. Yeah.
Thank you very much, Vice Chair Adyong. Again, given that there are no other interpolator who wishes to field questions to our DFA family, do I hear a motion?
Madam Chair, I would
Yes.
like to move to terminate the budget hearing of the Department of Foreign Affairs and including its attached agencies. So move, Madam Chair.
I second the motion.
There is a motion to terminate the budget hearing of the Department of Foreign Affairs, including its attached agencies. Do I hear a second?
Second, Madam Chair.
Given that it has been moved and seconded, the motion is carried. The budget hearing of the Department of Foreign Affairs, including its attached agencies, is hereby terminated.
Congratulations. See you in the plenary.
Madam
Thank you very much.
Chairperson,
Yes, go ahead.
may I move that we suspend the hearing and resume tomorrow, September 3, 2025 at 9 a.m. So move, Madam Chairperson.
Any second?
I second, Madam Chair.
There is a motion to suspend hearing until tomorrow, September 2 at 9 in the morning. It has been duly seconded. The motion is carried. This hearing is hereby suspended until tomorrow, September 3 at 9 in the morning. Thank you very much, everyone.